Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin.
I'm 15 PCA.
Nate Tip 454.
And it has been a little while since we made a video. We've kind of been sick and under the weather, and news is kind of slow, but things are starting to tick up again. And we've been talking about DC in the past and how they're going to move forward with all these movies. That they're going to connect, are they not going to connect? And just another, I want to say, nail in the coffin of a connected DC universe. This is coming from comingsoon.net, and Patty Jenkins, the director of Wonder Woman, quoted it said, "We are actually making a totally different film with a lot of the same similar like things that we love, but it's its own movie completely. So it's not two to us," Jenkins said. "It's an entirely new adventure together we couldn't be luckier to do." Trying to say like, oh, it's not a part two, but it's weird. Why would you say that?
Well, here's the thing, guys. I think DC messed up so bad with this trying to make this cinematic universe, the DCU. I think it's best that they do it separate. I just, at this point...
It's going to be like their animated films, where they're all their own little things.
They all got to be separate,
and Wonder Woman was such a great first film that they probably think, like, do we really need to add all this other stuff? Let's just make another good Wonder Woman.
Yeah, just let Wonder Woman be Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I think that's their best franchise right now.
Yeah. And that's kind of sad in the way that she's... And I don't know. I kind of like the idea of the world where Batman exists with Superman and Wonder Woman and Flash and Arrow and all these people.
But they can't do it. They've proven they can't do it. As long as Bryan Singer and that old crew is part of it.
Oh, Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said Bryan Singer, but Bendis is doing it now, right? Michael.
Yeah, he's writing the books now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's kind of, if they don't have that kind of genius talent, sorry, I misspelled on that name. I just don't see them be able to make a collective universe where they can all be. I just don't see it.
But they did it pretty well in the TV show. The Earth X was pretty good.
Because they established the characters. They established the characters and let it build. They're not letting these other characters build.
So like we were saying in the TV series, they built it up pretty good. Got all these heroes. And they keep doing these once-a-year events. And it was pretty good last year. And this year they have even more heroes and it still worked.
Yeah.
So you can have a dozen heroes. You just can make it work. You just have to work harder.
Yeah, and the TV show, once in a while they'll have a dud now and then. But overall it's a good. They connect the universes really well together. And I just have a feeling and TV, they don't know what they're doing in the movies. They just don't.
And I like the idea of Wonder Woman being able to play off like a Batman or playing off like a Superman. But now she has to just be the one and only hero in the DC world. She's good, but that's where Batman and Superman deserve to be.
We might have cameos, but then they won't connect. You know what I mean? Maybe it'll be something like that. Yeah. At this point, I don't know.
So Wonder Woman's the
connecting thread?
The centerpiece of the DC
Well,
movies?
they made that way just by default. Because all the movies were so terrible.
That belongs to Batman and Superman.
Of course it does, but...
You know, it was like, it's kind of like when Marvel first started, how the beginning of the thread was Iron Man, because Iron Man did so well, but then they were able to transition to Captain America.
Yeah.
And was able to do that. See, they tried to do that the same thing. Wonder Woman was the beginning, and they're hoping to branch...
But DC have not proven they can do that at all.
Well, yes,
it's the opposite.
They failed on the transition of like, okay, Wonder Woman was great, everyone loves it, let's move it to now to the centerpiece.
I kind of wish it was a dud, so that way we could have just started over.
Yeah, it's funny. It's it's just so weird that these had this Justice League, for all intents and purposes, was an utter failure.
Yeah.
It made a ton of money just by looking at it, but what was expected, it's a complete failure. It's an absolute failure.
Wonder Woman should be making billions.
Yeah.
Billions, and they're not even getting close to that.
And in Wonder Woman, it's good. Gal Gadot, she looks good. She fits the part. I like her acting.
I like the foreign accent. She kind of makes it sound kind of.
I like her costume. I don't like the high heels. It's a little ridiculous, but she's a short woman.
You
know.
Make her taller.
So I'm glad that I do want to see it in Wonder Woman 2. I want to see this character and franchise grow. It just kind of sucks that all the other heroes are just going to fall off.
They didn't. Ben Affleck's not going to do anymore, like I said.
Yeah, we talked about that last time.
That's a big blow. It is. We got to be honest about it. I mean, can this new guy could do it and send the shoot?
Yeah, we don't even know who's going to be. It's they kept talking about what's his face, Brokeback Mountain, Jake Gyllenhaal.
There you go. That's how I remember him.
Yeah,
Heath Ledger, the other guy.
Yeah.
It just seems to me that, like you said, if everything would have failed, maybe they could have waited a couple years and started all over from anew. Yeah. But hey, who cares? Just write off all the other films, keep Wonder Woman, then bring in new shit.
Yeah, because at this point, I mean, DC can't compete with Marvel. That ship is done. Now with X-Men coming in the fold in a year or two, that's really done. Yeah. And they can't make good stories. They just don't know what to do with DC. They don't know what to do with the characters. They're super overpowered to begin with, and they can't tell story narrative.
Yeah, they're going to have to just do all standalones.
Aquaman's coming out.
That's gonna be
Shazam.
Oh, I am not gonna go see
It's like we talked about all these other movies. Like, does the Flash movie even get made? Is that even in production? Remember they kept firing directors and they couldn't get anyone to get on board.
You're telling me Especially with how successful the TV shows, you can't get a good director to do Flash, the movie. That tells you how bad it must be.
Because the TV series is so much better. Like,
this is by far, yeah.
That's what makes it so sad.
Because the Barry Allen TV version is a likable guy. Kind of a dork, but likable.
Exactly.
Movie. Oh my goodness, this guy's something else. He's not funny. He's not likable. That's what happens when you just shoehorn him into a film where you have serious characters like, you know, Batman and Wonder Woman fighting, and then you have this guy cracking stupid jokes about the bat signal.
I'm going to tell you how bad that this guy is for the movies. They're the mid-season break. They're going to be starting in a week or so in Flash, and it starts with Devolve. Have you been watching it, Josh?
Sorry,
that's okay.
Recently.
Okay, well, he's set up. He's on trial right now, and he could be. You know, and he's on trial for murder. If this is the movie version, you'd want him to get the death penalty.
Yeah, you'd be like, yeah.
You want him to die, come on.
Throw the book at him.
Yeah.
With him and his goofy glasses.
Yeah. So, Wonder Woman, again, they don't see it as an actual part 2. It's just another Wonder Woman film.
Yeah.
But what if they leave number 2 off the thing? It's called Wonder Woman, like to the Captain America or Winter Soldier.
Why don't they just say different titles? At this point, you know what? I don't care anymore. I'm done.
But people
go together.
But the average moviegoer is going to remember stuff from the other films and think, "Oh, is this connected?" You have to tell them, wait a minute, there's a primer. You're not connected.
You know, here's the thing about that too. Like you said, they don't follow these things like we do. They're not going to know. They're just not going to know, and they're going to think it's connected, and they're going to get more confused.
Yeah.
But that's DC's fault.
As long as the action's good and the pacing's fine, and with the success of Wonder Woman Part 1, I was worried about, like, you know, identity politics and all that kind of stuff making it, and it wasn't in there. Not much at all.
Muted. It was pretty
but
muted.
now that it had that success, does that mean, that's our green light to start sneaking in?
If they do that, they will kill off Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
They can't. It would be another nail in the coffin for DC movies. They can't.
It'd be the same way if they wanted to change Captain America with all the politics and stuff.
Yeah, they try to do what they did in Secret Wars or whatever, where Captain America was really secretly a Nazi. It's so stupid.
If they do that, it would just ruin the movie.
Yeah, I saw that issue on the shelves. I'm like, that's a disgrace. That was a complete disgrace.
Hopefully, these comic book they realize, whoa, if it didn't work in the comics, it's not going to work in the movies.
Yeah.
Just keep that stuff away. Even in Spider-Man: Homecoming, they slipped it in a couple of times. Oh, the Russian monument was built by slaves. Okay,
but at least it was minimal. It was bad, but it wasn't like the whole movie, you know.
So again, but I'm wondering if that's what they're waiting for. But Wonder Woman was such a huge hit.
If DC does that, they're more stupider than I thought if they do that.
Because personally, you think okay, so they're only good franchise. Let's keep it like we did last time, so we can make money off of this thing.
So Wonder Woman 2, what's it about? What do you say?
Nazis. No, just kidding.
maybe fighting. They already killed Hades, so I'm thinking at this point. Ares. Maybe she fights the underworld again. Maybe hell. Maybe there's a different. It's got to be a mystical. It's got to be some kind of mystical again. I don't see her fighting like.
This is where you could. Like I'm saying, this is where you could lay seeds of. Darkseid and Brainiac and some of these bigger enemies. But if none of them are going to connect, then you really can't do that.
Yeah, and she needs an enemy that she can actually go toe-to-toe.
Yeah, I want her to freaking throw a punch at someone.
Maybe this is like the director saying it so that way it can lay the fears of like a lot of fanboys or people that are kind of supporting the DC movie saying, this will be another good Wonder Woman movie. It won't be connected to that Justice League.
Yeah, Aquaman doesn't just show up.
I know.
It's just going to be something stupid like that.
He's half human, which he never was. I don't know where that came from. I don't know where that storyline came from.
But I really don't know if I had the write a Wonder Woman story where I would take it. Do you take it modern days? It takes place after Justice League, and so yet all the events of that still happened. But why wouldn't Superman be there? See, you have to make an excuse why those characters wouldn't be there.
But then you go in the past again.
I don't want to do that either, so I don't know.
That's not. I don't know if I want to go that direction. No. I think Wonder Woman.
And that's just mystical, and only she can pass through because she has, something like Batman can't enter this realm. Yeah. They got to do something like that to keep the other heroes out.
Or she's fighting Cerberus and more of the Greek gods instead of being. You can't make it where they can be there at all.
Yeah. So Wonder Woman 2. I like the director, but the thing is, from my personal point of view, I think she just didn't F it up.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You didn't drop the ball. You didn't fumble it. All you had to do was walk it in, and you did it. Because the stories are already there.
Yeah.
There's great Wonder Woman stories. There's great Batman stories. You just have to carry it a little bit. You don't have to make a lot of things up.
I mean, you have to remember, Batman's been around for 80 years. Wonder Woman's been around for, 75 years?
Yeah.
There's so many stories there, but...
You can pick out the good stuff and just kind of carry it along. It's not like you're creating a brand new thing where there's no mythos, there's no
there's a whole
classic source. There's so much cool stuff here that you can just borrow from.
Oh, exactly.
Comic book movies are probably one of the easiest movies to make.
Yeah, there's so much...
backstory.
You can just close your eyes and just pull random stories, and you're going to get pretty decent stories.
Exactly.
But it's kind of funny because I remember in a Justice League Unlimited episode, Batman was with Wonder Woman in the underworld, and they had the death with the bow. I don't know what.
Yeah, the river stakes and all that, Jack.
And he had the right coin to go through. Batman did. So even Batman had the
you have to pay the river man.
That's funny. They go through it.
See, you got to do something. I think, I have to agree. It has to be something mystical because it can't be like aliens or anything.
How cool would it be if they just play on the other movie? Maybe Hades tricked Ares into thinking that he killed him, but really he's been alive and he's collecting all the souls.
Something like that. You can do something like that.
That wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah, because you never know.
But I just love the fact that you've seen the first Wonder movie, right?
Yeah.
And what's so fun about it is that it was such a simple looking guy.
Yeah.
The scrawny British guy was Ares. Like he was innocuous. That's what made it funny. He wasn't a big guy in any
And of course, and he was the one wanting peace, and even though he really wanted
he wanted war.
Yeah, he was secretly underhanded.
Yeah. See, that's compelling. Unlike the other DC movies, they don't have any of that.
Yeah.
So we were looking forward to it. When they get some more stuff, we'll definitely be following Wonder Woman all the way through its development. This still seems to be the only shining star in the DC universe.
Yeah. Maybe fight Xerxes. I mean, there's all kinds of other stories.
You think you change your outfit at all?
I think they kind of did with Captain America where they tweak it a little. If anything, just tweak it a little bit. Don't do anything.
A little brighter.
Maybe give her like a full blown helmet. Like maybe she has to wear like battle armor to go into like a certain scene.
Would you give her pants?
See, I kind of I've seen versions. There's been millions of versions of Wonder Woman. Yeah. She looks great in the skirt.
I like
she has
the skirt.
great legs. What can I say?
I think it's fine.
She looks great in pants. She looks great. Like I've even seen ones where it was kind of more of like she had shoulder armor too.
Yeah.
I think it all works.
Yeah.
I think they did a good job from when they first revealed the costume. It was like all brown. Give it color. It needs to have gold. It needs to have red. It needs to have blue.
Even though it doesn't have to be super bright, but just make sure there's a distinction.
There is colors there.
I agree with that. I think he did skirt. I don't think I see a problem with that.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna tweak it a little bit so they can sell more
but I don't think
stuff.
it's gonna be. You gotta
sell toys and costumes and all that, Jack.
Vehicles.
But again, that's a costume you can be proud of your daughter wearing.
Yeah,
kind of like Harley Quinn.
Yeah, or a psychopath.
Yeah.
But moving on. Crimson Sin here. Thanks for watching and be sure to like, sub, and share. Also, for the most up-to-date information about the podcast, follow us on Twitter at C15 Podcast.